I'm gonna read a statement. You all pick sides depending on how you feel about that, okay? Whether you agree with it, disagree with it, or are unsure about the statement. The statement reads, if my friend is abusive to women or is being abused in their personal life, it is none of my business. Let me hear from the disagrees.
With your friend, you should do something about it.
Okay?
Maybe, like, you're kind of afraid that you're gonna lose a friend if you try to, like, help them with it.
Well, when somebody's getting hurt, I mean, it becomes everybody else's business because you want that person to stop being hurt.
People might want to keep it to themselves and they don't want other people to know, too. Like, they don't want people involved with it, even if it is.
The person being abused, you think, may not want people involved? Mm-hmm. Okay.
You have to have the courage to go up to him and say, this isn't right, you shouldn't be doing this, or this shouldn't be happening to you.
Part of what we do in this process is that we have certain times when we split you guys up by gender. We have separate conversations, and then we come back together again at the end and sort of share what we talked about. So I'm going to ask you to imagine that the woman that you care most about is being assaulted by a man. Now imagine that there's a third person in the scenario, a bystander. This bystander sees what's going on, is in a position to help, but chooses not to do anything. What feelings came up in you as I was reading that to you?
Dread.
Dread?
Angry. I was kind of angry that person wasn't doing it.
Okay, so angry. Yeah.
Like, I couldn't really understand why the person would just walk away.
Yeah, so maybe like feeling confused. How could you do that? Mm-hmm.
I pictured him as a male, which is kind of, I just think that kind of says something. I don't feel like if a woman saw another woman being assaulted, I feel like they'd be less likely to walk away than if a man saw a woman being assaulted.
This guy and this girl, why do men hit women?
Because they want to be controlling.
Maybe a sense of inferiority in other aspects of life.
Yeah.
Such as?
Work, a job, or even school, or it's been passed down generation by cultural institutions.
Yeah.
So does that make it all right?
No.
I think she kind of probably has like a sense, like a feeling of hopelessness.
Okay.
She might feel that she deserves it.
She might feel she deserves it. Does that happen?
Yeah.
So what is that? I mean, how do you all feel about that? As men,
Ashamed.
does that resonate with you?
Yeah, kind of ashamed.
Ashamed?
That people like just like us could be out there hitting a woman.
Mm-hmm. Or people like us could be out there
bystanding and not doing anything.
And not doing anything, right? The statement reads as follows. If a woman wears tight or revealing clothing, she deserves some of the blame if she is sexually harassed.
I mean, by wearing tight clothing, she's kind of setting herself up for it.
It's not a bad thing for a woman to want to accentuate her body because she thinks she's beautiful, right?
Right.
When you cross a line of like sexy but not too sexy, then there's a point where you're almost inviting it.
It's not okay to ever be sexually harassed, and why, whether you're wearing tight clothing or not, why is it ever okay for, like, you would never deserve that, or...
But we're not saying... Wait, hold on, we're just hearing what they have to say first.
And also, like, my shirt is tight. I'm not asking to be sexually harassed.
Is it fair that you have to figure out what you're gonna put on because some dude can't, control himself?
What's the stereotype of what it means to be a woman or means to be female in our culture? Okay, so dresses.
Like, we have to be like the weaker of the two sexes, and like
It's almost like women are supposed to be helpless. Like, we're not supposed to be able to fend for ourselves. We're supposed to that's what the men are for. They're supposed to take care of us.
Is there a line that we have to walk between sort of being sexy as a good thing, but then crossing that line and being too sexy?
So there is a line, because you can you just associate certain things.
Yeah, but there's a line. We see a line, but if you ask a guy, do you think he's gonna see a line? They'd be like, no,
he knows it. He might like it, but
yeah, that's the difference. I mean, they don't have. I mean, for them, it's not like our line. We wouldn't cross it.
I think there's a
but
line
their line
that depends on your moral standards, whether you care if you cross it or if you care if other people cross it.
What are the names and words that are used to describe girls and women who are not in this box?
Tomboy.
Slut, tomboy, like
Lesbian.
more unattractive,
Cheap.
skank, hoe, hooker.
I know most guys would never think of using those words face to face with someone.
Well, I think some guys think it's attractive, like at our age, which is like they like a girl who is willing to make them happy. Like, I don't know how to say it, but
Who's willing to have sex with them.
Yeah.
So, do we like this whole situation? Is this good for us?
Not at all.
No.
To be honest, I mean, that list is that's pathetic to me.
Degrading.
It's very degrading, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Statement is, a woman has a right to change her mind at any point during sexual situations. So a woman has a right to change her mind at any point during sexual situations. Okay, so it looks unanimous, huh? So we're all on agree?
Well, I think it's really either party. I mean, it is your body. I mean, both parties have a right to stop it at any time.
Though it might be hard to change your mind like right in the midst of it, you're still allowed and your word has to be heard.
So if everybody agrees that no means no, at least in this room, then how does it happen that that gets misinterpreted?
Well, I think sometimes it doesn't get misinterpreted, they just ignore it.
Oh.
Like, we know morally that no means no, we just a lot of times ignore the fact that no means no.
So that's not very cool, is it? I mean, do any of you want that kind of dynamic in your own relationships that you have?
Well, this is our box. Like, we did the same exercise as the girls. Some of the stereotypes that we came up with were that you have to be big and strong, you have to get lots of girls, you can't be sensitive, you can't show any emotion really. You have to be tough and you can't cry. You have to be the best at the sport, like at sports.
I think it's interesting because you think that guys want to be in their box to get girls and to get attention, but girls don't like some of the things in that box. Like, I think girls like it when guys are sensitive or when they want to be in a real relationship, and I think that it's the same way. I don't know, but guys, don't you think that sometimes you like it when girls aren't helpless and weak and passive?
I think instead of making another box and just creating another what you should be, you should just we should just accept people for who they are.
Deep thoughts by Allison. Raise your hand if you honestly think that you will be more likely when you go home to take action on something, even if it's very small.